Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, Ribis Ultra Launch deeply saddened over team member's death. The operators and the staff of Ribis Ultra Launch say they are shocked and deeply saddened by the passing of their team member, Jermaine Richards. It is reported that Richards was fatally shot by police in the parking lot of the RNM Emirates Plaza complex in St. Andrew on Wednesday. In a statement issued on behalf of the directors, management, and the staff of Ribis Ultra Launch, Richards was remembered as a hardworking and a dedicated member of the Ribis family. We wish to convey our deepest sympathy to his family at this tumultuous time, the statement read. We have already had a dialogue with the Council for the Raytown Division, Rosalie Hamilton, to offer the strongest support to his family, it added. May his soul rest in peace. It is alleged that Richards, a resident of Fleet Street in Kingston, was shot multiple times following an altercation with the police. Fleet Street residents took to the streets on Thursday in protest over the killing. JCF High Command reports elevated threat against its members. The High Command of the Jamaica Constabulary Force says it has identified an elevated threat against the police officers due to the recent violence in St. Catherine North. The High Command, in a statement Thursday evening, urged the members of the public to cooperate with law enforcement and refrain from interfering with the police and other law enforcement personnel performing their lawful duties. Criminals operating in and around the St. Catherine North are encouraged to surrender peacefully when confronted by security forces, the statement said. Meanwhile, JCF's High Command reminded lawmen to remain vigilant, alert, and to take all necessary precautions to protect themselves and their families. The High Command says it fully supports the lawful actions of members to safeguard their lives and well-being. Individuals with information on illegal activities are also being encouraged to contact the police, the National Intelligence Bureau, at 811 or Crime Stop at 311. KPH launches investigation into death of elderly male who fell from hospital building. The management of the Kingston Public Hospital says an investigation has been launched into the circumstances surrounding the death of a 75-year-old man who reportedly fell from the third floor of the building where his ward was located. Immediately following the incident, the hospital staff promptly responded. The patient was taken to the Accident and Emergency Department, where resuscitation efforts were made, but unfortunately were unsuccessful. The hospital has reached out to the patient's relatives to inform them of his passing and is offering counseling services to the family during this difficult time, the hospital's management team said in a media release Thursday evening. It said updates from its investigation will be shared with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the Board of the Southeast Regional Health Authority. The hospital further said the matter has been reported to the police, who are conducting their independent investigation. Police vow criminals won't take control of Spanish Town after killing of one other leader. The police on Thursday vowed that gangsters would never again take control of Spanish Town St. Catherine after responding quickly to fiery protests by residents of Toss Meadows and other communities, angered that the cops had shot dead one other gang leader, Othniel Thinkman Laban. News of his demise created a reaction in the Toss Meadows community. This reaction is really an indication of the kind of psychological control and impact that gangs continue to have on these communities, and so persons are upset and are expressing themselves based on their relationship with Laban, who was a leader in this area, Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Christopher Phillips said. Wednesday night we had a few incidents where roads were blocked and there were attempts to burn a few premises, but we were quick on location to put some control on that, Phillips pointed out. Laban was shot dead in the 6 miles area of the St. Andrew South Police Division during what the police said was a gunfight with members of the anti-gang task force on Wednesday about 10 p.m. News of his killing sparked uproar among residents in sections of Spanish Town, who immediately began to block roads with tires and other debris and setting them ablaze. The Quartz Bargain Center was torched, and there were reports of loud and continuous explosions as the gunmen challenged the security forces. Over the years, Spanish Town has been the scene of deadly protest whenever gang leaders are killed or taken into custody by the police. Among the more memorable cases are those of Donovan Bulby Bennett and Andrew Bunman Hope. On Thursday, Phillips said the security forces will do all in their power to keep things under control in Spanish Town and will not tolerate the kind of behavior displayed by Laban's supporters Wednesday night. We now have a strong presence in the area. Roadways were cleared, and we continue to maintain a presence in Spanish Town as best as possible, watching carefully all the communities that are connected to the deceased, Phillips said. I want to reassure all our commuters and residents within this space that we have things under control and that we are not going to allow the kind of disorder that we have seen in Spanish Town over the years. We are very much intolerant of this kind of behavior. Already, we have 4 persons in custody who were a part of the blocking of roads Wednesday night. We are going to be sending a strong message, Phillips said, as he described St. Catherine as the epicenter of criminality in Jamaica, and that it is going to require serious and strong action on the ground to ensure control is not lost. He commended his colleagues for exercising restraint on Wednesday night, despite residents accusing them of abuse, damaging police vehicles, and displaying violent and destructive behavior. You saw what happened in terms of the citizens damaging 4 vehicles and the kind of disorder and disrespect coming from them when the police attempted to move in. I have not had any report of unprofessional conduct from any of my members. I believe they exercised great restraint Wednesday, and until these people start to behave themselves, we are going to be in these communities, and the effort will be relentless lest we turn this place into Haiti. It cannot work, Phillips said, his voice firm. He told the journalist that Laban's power and influence as a gangster spanned far and wide. If St. Catherine is now seen as the epicenter for criminality, just imagine that network he created over a period of time. He met his demise outside of this division, and he is known to be connected to several other communities in and outside of St. Catherine. He was one of the main targets for the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force based on his involvement in various acts of criminality, the senior cop said. The upheaval in Spanish Town affected operations at numerous private business establishments, including restaurants, some government entities, and the schools that shuttered their doors. The protest also impacted service offered by Jamaica Urban Transit Company Limited in Spanish Town, and all matters at the St. Catherine Parish Court were suspended. Taxi operators in the Spanish Town Transport Center complained that they were getting very few passengers, as many people opted to stay off the streets. In Laban's community of Toss Meadows, residents seemed to care very little about what was happening in the wider Spanish Town. All they were concerned with was the fact that their leader, who they painted as a saint, had been taken from them, and they said that they didn't believe that he challenged the police. One woman claimed that when he was alive, he wasn't allowed to live in peace, alleging that he was frequently harassed by the security forces for reasons unknown. His name did not come out as any person of interest or any wanted man. Every time police come here, they choose to visit his house. They come here and they leave with one foot of the man shows them. Them go as far as to take up one dog and lock up the dog in the man oven, mash up his games, his television, and ransack his house. To how them terrorize him, if he even wants to spend a night in his house, he can't. You have some special police where as them reach near the community, them say come, we're gonna look for him, she claimed. All we know is that Tickman has died. He was a nice, jovial, fun-loving person to be around. He was not a man who disrespected people. He ran jokes with down to even babies. Everybody in the community loves him. December gone, he kept a treat for the elderly. He brought out all the senior citizens, fed them, and distributed packages. He was loved by everyone. People on the outside of the community would not really know these things, but everywhere he goes, he interacts with everybody, down to the animals. We have lost a good and loved member from our community, the woman said. The news of his death was very shocking. I was in disbelief. I did not believe until I saw a photo of him. I never expected this. When storm come, him look food, pack and distribute. Back to school time, him keep the biggest street. Every child who has nothing to go to school has to get something. If you go to him and say you don't have any lunch money, him give you pitney lunch money. If you go to him and say you want dinner money, he makes sure you have it. If you want to go to the doctor, he will make sure you go to the doctor. Children cannot be on the road after certain hours. He was a community person. If you have a problem and go to him, he will sit down and listen and solve it as best as he could. To tell you the truth, all of us are sad, she added. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.